As the offseason continues to progress, we're looking at several different free agents and 3 potential landing spots where they could be playing for the 2023 campaign. On today's video, we're looking at Willson Contreras. So let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And as I said in the open, we're looking at 3 different landing spots for Willson Contreras. So we begin with number 3. Now, right now, when you look at Willson Contreras, he is a solid fit, in my opinion, for a great number of teams across Major League Baseball. But one such team is that of the New York Mets. I think that while the Mets have a solid catching prospect in Francisco Alvarez coming up, having a veteran player for the next 3 seasons possibly in Willson Contreras could truly help facilitate a mentor relationship with Alvarez. I think that for Willson and the Mets, it's a solid fit. He's very good at receiving, and his versatility allows him to not just be limited to being behind the plate, something that could truly help the Mets lineup, especially in a mentorship role for the growing top prospect in the Mets catching system. So I think when looking at Willson Contreras, the New York Mets could potentially be a fit. Now, as we look at the second team on my list, it is heading back home for Willson Contreras and the Chicago Cubs. I think that Chicago is going to be in a very interesting position in 2023 because I'm not sure exactly how close they are to competing with teams like the Cardinals and the Brewers. But I don't know that they're that far enough away that they're going to be falling off the cliff with teams like the Pirates and the Reds. I think that for the Cubs, going after and bringing back a very hometown favorite player in Willson Contreras stands to show the fans, hey, we're in this to win it. We're going after bringing back our guys to be able to try to do something in 2023. By bringing back Willson Contreras, the Cubs have a guy who understands their pitching staff, who has been very familiar with them, and allows them to continue that relationship, continue growing and building towards a championship caliber team once again. Now, as we look at the number 1 team, in my opinion, the most likely landing destination for a guy like Willson Contreras, it is that of the Houston Astros. For me, the Houston Astros have had one weakness over the last several years, and it has been the offensive spot of catcher. Obviously, having a guy like Martin Maldonado is a defensive stalwart is absolutely beneficial to the Houston Astros in the utmost of ways. Willson Contreras is no slouch, but obviously not to the same level of a glove man that Martin is. But Martin is not the offensive contributor that Willson Contreras is. So I think that for the Houston Astros, this has been the one weakness, in my opinion, in their lineup over the last several years. So by bringing in a guy like Willson Contreras, you absolutely solidify the entire roster of the Houston Astros, even more so than what it has been already. The Astros have been a dominant team over the last several years, and if they go out and add Willson Contreras to this roster, it is going to solidify them as a World Series favorite even more than they already are. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings down in the comments. Where is Willson Contreras going to land and play in the 2022 campaign? What are your thoughts, your feelings on him as a player, as a catcher, in your opinion? Let me know that down in the comments, or head over to Twitter and find me at banter_baseball to keep the conversation rolling. Make sure you keep it locked in all season long to our entire JLMG family with Weesibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting the subscribe button on all 3 channels. For sticking around to this point, head over to the links that we have down in the show notes below for our partner Lids, as well as the baseballbanterbroadcast.com. We have several different promos running on baseballbanterbroadcast.com, so take advantage of that for all of your holiday shopping. So make sure you keep it locked in all season long as we continue to look at the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.